Yo, we are live. Listen, this is Live at 11. I'm sitting here with Sarah Smith. Say
Hey guys.
hello, people.
Hello, peeps. Good to have you on. Good to be on.
So we're going to be delving into exactly how Sarah has went from around 12 years, maybe even a wee bit longer, 12 years, was it, Sarah?
I think it was about 14, maybe.
14 years. And the way you described it was like doing about 14-hour days, charging around about €5 or something like that for kettlebell classes at the time. How you turned that on its head, raised your prices to the point where you, I think from memory, tripled your income. Am I correct there?
Indeed. Correct.
Tripled your income. And then that actually eventually led to you selling up the whole gym and moving to Menton, very close to Monaco. Allow me the poetic license. I said Monaco. Moving to Monaco and starting a lifestyle business. Is this accurate? Talk us through this whole thing, sir, please.
Yeah, 100% accurate. So like a lot of you probably watching, started out as a glorified cleaner in a gym. Probably less than a five punt at the time. Yeah, 5 punch at the time. It was that fucking long ago. And so working in gyms is basically a glorified cleaner, then teaching all the fucking classes, you know what I mean? All the aerobics, all the step, all that stuff that you had to do, then having to do a lifeguard course never used, working, doing DBD tests in the pool, checking pH levels, filling out forms, all that shit, and at reception desk, all the things, to then, okay, personal trainer in a gym, to then, okay, a gym manager, to then a tutor, to then going into business with another lady selling like what you're selling through iTech, right? So all the levels and all the shifts, and love the mess in here. In that time, it would have been less than a $5 for some of my kettlebell classes because social media wasn't around, Sean. There was no Facebook, there was no fucking Instagram, right? So I started to go on Living Social, which, by the way, anybody watching, please never ever sell your soul to Living Social or any other one of those dick fuckery companies. Anyway, it put me in the exact opposite people that I wanted, and I probably got about €2 a class for it,
Yeah. I have to say, like, to anybody listening, Sarah probably curses as much, if not more, than me, which is great. This is great.
I have to reel it in a bit now that I'm up there. So like from that was also house calls in my little Ford Fiesta car. It was renting GAA gyms and community centres. It was doing outdoor stuff in parks, and it was all the stuff that you could possibly do to try to build your business. And it was only when I actually found you guys, like I've known you for a good while, Sean. We met at a kettlebell competition. I knew Jay through the kettlebells as well. And I remember you saying to me, Sarah, it's a thing to work with clients for a year for personal training and to get them to sign up. And honestly, I thought you were full of shit, I was like, well, that's a load of bullshit. I did the typical cliche line that you're all probably saying, is like, not in my town. Sean's in Dublin. There's a shitload of money there. Maybe you were in Belfast at that stage. But it had an impact on me. And I remember Googling up your company and calling your office. I was like, I want to talk to Sean about this again, And they're like, you'll have to make an appointment. And then that's, I was like, yeah, okay, this is serious shit. And then I met Jay a while later, and he said the same thing. And I thought the same thing. I sat there and I was like, yeah, he's also full of shit. Like, it's contagious from Sean. They've got this, I was like, oh yeah, right, nice one, Jay. Yeah, good one. Yeah, I'm listening intently, but the reels were like, the spiels were like, not for you, Sarah. No way. People will laugh at you. Who do you think you are? It's never going to happen. This just is not a thing. And then, basically I signed up with you guys, and every single thing I ever learned about personal training and fitness, and that I thought, to be honest, after 16 years, that I knew every avenue. I honestly did. I thought I know all the avenues. I know all the shit. But that just was gone. That was just all gone. And it was just a whole new way that you taught me, which is people by people. You are the product. You are the service. You are denying people an experience and a result by not offering them a year of personal training, and it picked up and it worked. And I signed up a lady, never forget it. And I did the Facebook ad, I did the woofu form, because back then you could get away with just the woofu, no lead, no fucking website, nothing. And did the interviews, and I was like sitting there, so, you know, and chatting away. And then I said, she was like, so how does it work? And this is the bit now for you guys where this is my brain, this needs to kick in, right? Where you shut that other voice up that's like, just tell her it's not for her. Like, I used to push people away from sales. Literally, I'd be like, Ashley, you're awful busy. Ashley, you can't afford it. But with this woman, I said, it's a year, because that's how I work and that's how you get a result. This is the payment option for taking care of it all at once. Sean's brilliant language he taught me. This is the option for packages. And I practiced the pause that Jay said to practice, of uncomfortableness, where your brain is fucking crying at you and it is saying, she's not going to take it. She thinks you're a lunatic. You fucked it all up. You could have just sold for 500. She would have bought that. Now she's not going to buy anything. My stomach's churning. I'm a dickhead. This is no good. It's not going to work. Please just say no so I don't actually have to do it anyway. Yeah.
Sounds like you were your own sales prevention officer back then.
Oh, yes, I was the prevention officer. Do not pass go.
But like what you've just described is, I would say a lot of personal trainers struggles where they're trying to get the grips with this whole sales thing. It's like, I think a lot of people are conditioned to believe that sales is actually bad and it's manipulative. And, you know, there's the fear of the word no. And all the things you just described there is exactly what a lot of people go through when it comes to talking about the money part. It's for them, it's very, very difficult. And I mean, which for me is alien, because the kind of people I dealt with my whole life was training car salesmen, and they're hungry bastards. They can't wait to get to talk to the money, because that's where the magic happens for them. And personal trainers have this complete, it's like the fucking upside down version of that. It's like, oh fuck, now it's the money bit. And they don't see that, you know, what you've begun to realize, that actually sales is a good thing, because that's where you get to help the people that you could potentially help. But you have to do it the way you did there, with the absolute certainty. And that was you kind of getting the certainty part and learning how to feel comfortable in those scenarios. That changed everything for you, did it?
Yeah, that's exactly as you said, John. It changed everything, because I realized that actually it's quite self-centered to make it all about you. It's quite self-centered to not have the self-awareness. And this is the big thing that's missing in the industry at the moment, to me, is empathy and self-awareness. Who are you? What are your weaknesses? Yeah, cool to know your weaknesses, but what are your strengths, and to double down on your strengths? And my strength was empathy and complete continuity and attention to detail. I love every minute detail in my clients' transformations, no matter how small that is. And so for me to selfishly put me first and be like, oh, it's all about you and what you lack, is actually robbing somebody of an experience of the joy that they can get of investing in themselves and you, which is the joy that I felt when I joined Ascension. It's like, hell yeah, I'm worth investing in. I cannot wait to have this experience with these guys. I know it's going to change my business and my life. This is great. But if you guys were kind of like, oh, maybe, I don't know, like, you know, I wouldn't have had that experience. So when I learned and realized that, I started selling just through conversations, just through being me. And that's what made the sales was it isn't sleazy. It isn't horrible. It's an exchange of energy. And you have something that they want. You've got something that they need. You can literally change their lives. So I don't view it as a sale anymore. I just view it as a mutual exchange of energy.
Cracking. That's fucking deep and meaningful and philosophical.
Sorry, I'm on one today. And I want to grab this, which is just something visual to show people of where you could start if you're afraid of sales and you're like, you know, no, sure, you know, I mean, it's awful greedy and sure, you know, they're broke. And I mean, I could tell you, I won't bore you, but I could tell you every single thing that I came up with as a sales blocker, like you said, Sean.
Go ahead.
People wouldn't pay me. Yeah. But now what do? This isn't real. These are tissue papers. I bought them at the Euro store, right? And every day I count them. Now this is only €1,000, But
Right.
I've gone deep into money mindset for 2 years, okay, to shift me. And that's why partly I've moved to live near Monaco, so I can be surrounded by millionaires, so I can breathe it and feel it and be around it and feel worthy of it, right? But if your parents or whatever, when you're growing up, is like, people with money are bad and people who don't have money are bad, you've got a confused mindset about money and you don't know where the fuck to go with it. And so you're going to push away sales. I count out this every morning: 100, thank you; 200, thank you; 300, thank you. And I put it back down and I say, yes, thank you, coming to me, coming my way. Put it down yesterday morning. Okay, because this shit works. This is not the secret of like, bring me a Ferrari. You've got to do the work. You've got to show up on your lives. You've got to do your emails. Do this yesterday. Got a Facebook message from a client from 10 years ago. Sarah, see you're living in the south of France. I need a fucking break. I'm burnt out. Could I come over to you? I said, yeah, I charge 120 euros an hour. I'd suggest 8 hours. You're going to be here for a week. We'll do an hour before you come. We'll do 5 when you're here, and we'll do an hour after. How's that sound to you? Yeah, great. How do I pay? PayPal. Here's the link. Boom.
That's a fucking huge shift. But do you know something, Sarah? Like, you've been on a journey now, you know, of like, maybe we're talking 3 years. Like when we first started working in Ascension, 3 years. Like let's just go back. What were the biggest things you struggled with, like, over your career? Because like one of the things you said, you bluffed your way to a job in Australia, right?
Yeah.
And like now, look at the transformation where you're just saying like you just closed that deal there. I don't know, it sounds like thousands, right? So, like, what were the biggest struggles you had along the way to get where you are now?
Self-belief. This is an inner game. So I've done every fucking course going, guys, right? Every course, you've all done them. I've done the Les Mills. I've done the bloody spinning. I've done the GP referral. I've done the precision nutrition. All of that shit. Nothing clicked into place for me to create a proper income and live the lifestyle I want until I started doing the inner work. So the struggles I would have had would have been all about my self-worth and self-belief and what I know and wanting everything to be perfect. So the typical imposter syndrome. So it's what I call oops, which is overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed with all I had to do, then procrastinating about doing it, then doing a little bit and then sabotaging it, yeah, and then trying to make it perfect and going around in that big loop. So the struggles I came up against was when clients would reflect back to me that I had no boundaries, yeah, I would cry, I would freak out, it would affect the next sale, etc., because I hadn't worked on this, the inner. I hadn't worked on my value, my worth of 20 years in the industry, you know, a lot going for me, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and along the way, I just wasn't self-aware. I was working on fear, and I was working on checking competition, you know, and I had some very dark moments, you know, of payments that I was expecting to pay rents. You know, you all know this, guys, you know, yeah, sorry, don't have the money with me. I'll pay you online tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I'm sick. And then actually I'm going to pull out of the program, you know, because I had no boundaries. I didn't have, this is the client agreement form. This is how I work. It was coming from a place of lack of I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Oh, wow, they want to work with me. Thanks. No, if you want to work with me, this is how I work. Yeah. So the struggles along the way were very much financially related, based on my lack of boundaries and lack of insight into actually how good I was.
Fucking brilliant. Because like what you're describing there sounds to me like you were kind of acting from a place of scarcity.
Yeah.
You were feeling like that every client, oh shit, I'm so happy I got that client. Whereas now you realize that like you're the catch.
Yeah.
You're the one that has the potential to help these people. And then you're working from a place of abundance. So there's a whole mindset shift there. What advice would you have for people like, or trainers that are starting off? Because another thing you mentioned there was you didn't have like a system. You were hoping that you were getting cash in hand. Do you think that's a big problem? Do trainers just not have any plan whatsoever, and then they just act from this place of scarcity, and that ends up like being this continuous loop where you're just chasing every 25 euro? What would you say?
100%. I mean, like, you know, it was highlighted quite brutally, which is the way it's needed to be in Ascension, that I had no fucking systems, right? I still use the systems that you taught me. I still use the Ascension book, because, you know, you gave us a couple of them when we were in Marbella. And I thought, you know, no, let's all be woo woo. And like, you know, I'll just do it my way. And I don't want to be all planny and techie and nerdy and, you know, come on now, isn't this why I'm self-employed? Bullshit. Structure and systems equals freedom. And that is when you can kick back on a Saturday night and have a beer and whatever and not worry about it. Whereas before, kicking back, I was totally distracted. I was like, fuck that email. Or I need to do that video. Or I never text you one back. You know what I mean? Now I have systems. It's like, this is how you book with me. This is how you pay. This is module 1. This is module 2. And that has given me freedom to work creatively on things that are way bigger a message than the nitty picky little bits of shit. But again, it all goes back to this, is people don't want systems, because if they get systems, they might have to be accountable. And when we're accountable, we've got to be responsible. And they don't want to be highlighted as to how unrealistic they are being about time and social media and fucking looking at arses on Instagram instead of actually writing out your copy. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, get the systems and structure in place and then dick around on Instagram.
Brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. Okay, so we've like the points that we've touched upon there. Like, I mean, they've made you have major shifts in your business, and like it's taken you a while to get to this point. Like, if you had advice for the younger Sarah Smith, 3 points of advice for the younger Sarah Smith, because and this is the other thing. One of the questions comes in here: does it work for any business? I think it kind of does. But like, what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to start up a business that you've learned from mistakes you've made, or advice you would give to yourself if you were starting again?
I'd say start with the inner game. I'd say don't bother doing any fucking ClickFunnels, any MailChimp email marketing, any Facebook ads, anything until you have worked out what it is you want to do. What is your message? Who can you help? Why are you doing it? What shit do you need to let go of in order to do this? Like, when do you abandon yourself in your business? When do you abandon yourself in yourself to not show up fully as you? Because people can smell bullshit like a dog can smell fear. So I went in and wasted a lot of time and used up a lot of energy working with clients that were not really a good fit for me, because I didn't do the inner work before I kind of started out in business. And I'm in business since I'm a young age. My first business was when I was 21. But for this particular business, it's an inner game. So the advice I'd say to people starting out is, you know, start meditating, even if it's Headspace, 5 minutes a day, okay? Or going on YouTube. Start and being self-aware so you can develop your thought work, and sign up for some NLP or some mindset courses, and then go in with all the technical stuff. And advice number 2 I would have given to myself is, fuck me, if I'd known the internet and social media platforms were going to come on like that, I would have said rest easy during at times like a recession, where I had to go from being a personal trainer to a group trainer to survive. Yeah, because we've been through a recession. Is now that online is here, I will not listen to one person say there's no work in the fitness industry, in any, or health industry in any shape or form, or any industry, to be honest. Is the abundance of opportunity online is just limitless. It's just so exciting. So the advice I'd give to anyone starting out is, when you've done the inner work, start getting techie. It could be a fucking, as Gary Vee says, a channel on the Smurfs. But if you're passionate about the Smurfs, that's going to come through. Papa Smurf, that's going to come through. It could be about dust, literally reviewing bits of dust. And I swear to God, you could make money off that on YouTube, or whatever platform that you decide to zone in on. So that's the advice I'd give, is if you can do what you really love, it's going to be easy for you if you can learn how to do that shit online, because you can add so much service to what you're offering by doing it online. But if you say, like I did, remember Jay used to kick my arse. Jay'd be like, Google it, Sarah. And I'd be like, I'm not techie. I can't do it. The funnel's not working. It's shit.
Yeah. So like, again, that's all coming back to the importance of doing that inner work. Like you said, the first one is like, do the work on yourself, get out of your own fucking way, realize that there's tons of opportunity if you're actually solving problems that you find a passion in solving, or if you have a unique ability to help. You've just got to give yourself permission really to help these people, right?
Yeah. You've got to give yourself permission. You've got to give your clients the chance to work with you as well. Like, what annoys the shit out of me is what I used to do, which is vague selling. It's like, starting a course, might kind of like it, would you? It's like, what? Like, what is your offer? And it doesn't have to be waiting on your web designer. It can literally just be you going live, going, hey guys, I've got 3 slots. This is the crack. If you want it, PM me. You know, it's like vague selling is confusing to the client as well. So it's really a lot, I think, about really letting them know. Like, I've only changed mine last night, 3 a.m. Couldn't sleep because I'm so excited, to be honest, about the message I want to give. I changed mine last night to go work with me personally for 12 weeks, okay? And that will be going up, and I will have one package that's 5K, and I will unashamedly put that out there and give them a chance to see if they want it or if they don't. But if you're not giving clients that chance and you're making vague offers, you're never going to create an income for yourself, proper income.
That's nice. You went to a 5K package now for 12 weeks. Fucking hell, incredible. Well, listen, it hasn't been without failures, though. One of the things you said was that your first gym failed.
Yes.
And this was social media day. Tell me about that. How did that happen? Like, what did you learn from that?
Great. I love talking about failure because there is none. So, yeah, like, I'd gone from a sitting room. I was living in this house, and the girl that was living there said she was leaving, and I loved it. It was in a great location in Galway. And Mum said, why don't you take over the sitting room downstairs as a little personal training studio? And I was like, you're mental. And she was like, no, just think of it objectively, without the sofa, without the shit, okay? Did it. And that's when I started Galway Kettlebells. I had a waiting list. I could only fit 6 people. Total health and safety hazard, but we've been highly successful. Oh, totally. Like, when I left that house, I lost the deposit of €1,000 because the landlady came and she looked on the roof up on the ceiling and she said, what is that colored paint? How could that get there? And it was the color of every size of kettlebell that had come off from people doing snatches and bang, bang overhead, right? Yeah. So I lost the deposit. That was grand. But from there, I said, okay, I need to go big. I got ballsy and I was like, right, I'm ready. I'll go big. And I looked at premises with my mum. I found one that was 1,100 square foot in an industrial estate. The landlord didn't know the rates and he said he'd have to get back to me. But I foolishly signed the lease, and also didn't know about the exact thing of square footage for the rates, if you know what I mean, of measurements, right? So the council came out and measured it wrong and undercharged me, but then came back and said, no, we didn't include this. So it's actually going to be this amount, which was totally not within my budget for my projected figures of my plan. So it went bust. But because there was people in the door and because everyone was buzzing about kettlebells in Galway, because it's kind of one of the first people to bring it mainstream to Galway, I was like, it's a success. It's a success. It's a success. And then it's like, yeah, have you checked the books? Actually, yeah, I must check the book. It's a failure. It's fucked. It's fucked. I can't pay them rates. The ESB is massive. Didn't think it would be that. Yeah. So that was a dark moment in the sense that I thought I'd expand and I'd grow, and I was afraid of failure. And then the universe was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. You fucked this right up, Sarah. I remember sitting with the kettlebells like in tears, knowing each one of them intimately, being like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to find another home for you. And fucking low, but I knew it was temporary. I knew that the pain and adversity wasn't going to last, and I knew I'd find a way, and I did. I met a guy in the sauna, right? And he was like, oh, you're Sarah Sewell. Yeah, he was like, you do kettlebells, don't you? And I said, Jenny goes, he didn't know, nobody knew that this is a failure. This is like 2 days later. I was just in my head going, I can sort this, I can sort this. And he's like, are you looking for a premises? And I was like, no, I have a premises, you know, defensive. And he's like, well, if you did, I'll just leave a number on the desk for you. I was like, thanks. Took the number, and then that's where I found my new home in Galway's oldest soccer club. They were looking for someone to rent the room. They tried it, state-of-the-art place, but not in a very affluent area. So I got a cheap rent, and I went there, and I was there for 3 years, and it happened within the space of a week, and it was like within walking distance from my old building. So I got shopping trolleys, and I got my mates and my dad and everything, and we just wheeled all the fucking kettlebells and all the equipment on the shopping trolleys down. Oh yeah, it was really funny. But it was a dark time, but it really taught me to know your figures, know your figures. Don't jump in on a dream and a whim. Great to dream, but like know the figures.
Fucking right. Love that. I mean, that is a cracker, and I think that's going to give a lot of people hope. You know, even just hearing the reality, like getting a fucking shopping trolley and wheeling the kettle, like that. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. You know, it's like that Instagram versus reality. Like that's the reality of running businesses. 1 minute you're fucking flying, Next minute, some shit you never thought about. If you haven't really delved into the really unsexy, boring accountant figuresy shit, like it'll fuck you up the ass. Because look, as I think a lot of our trainers are really passionate about helping people, and they're kind of hobbyists.
Total. That really
Right?
total hobbyists.
And I think, like, and one of the things you said is like goals are great and all, but without a vision, it'll go nowhere. But again, the goals are what's keeping it on point, and that's kind of what you're describing there, isn't it? It's like you've got to know your fit. Yeah, it's great that you have this vision, and you should have a vision, but you have to know the goals. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah,
and then,
totally agree. And like, you know, I really wanted to be at the kettlebells, like that was part of it. But then I was like, you can't selfishly just like open a massive 1,100 square foot gym with 10 million kettlebells just for you. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. But at that stage, I'd built an audience, and it was like, well, where are we going to go for the kettlebells then? Like, you're the only one in Galway. So it was nearly like, it was them, it was my audience really kept my positivity and my outlook and perspective, because I do believe that really life even is just actually about perspective. It's like how you look at it. And I was like, well, this isn't the end of the world. I'm not going to lose much face, because it was Christmas time. So there was a gap of a few days where everything was fucking closed. And that's when I did that. My biggest worry was the mirrors, which I'd invested in, which for me was a big outlay then, you know what I mean? One man band, it was like a couple of grand. And the guy was so lovely, like, I never forget. And he was like, I will help you move them down. I don't normally do it, but I will. And like, they're still there now, because I sold the gym, you know, they're still in there. And I love that shit. And the physical bit is what annoys the fuck out of me, is when people think they're above that stuff, or that it just someone else will do it, or it will somehow happen. And like, my parents have taught me that. I'm kind of a byproduct of my parents. They're 32 years in the health food industry. Is like, you sweep the fucking floor, you clear the the toilet if you have to, you physically lift stuff, and that is how it is. You're not going to wait for someone else to do it. And I have a big attention to detail, and especially on aesthetics, and I just won't accept that. Like, even with clients I'm working with, if they're not going to do the actual just physical practical work that is not on Instagram of like, hey, it's like, no, I'm actually fucking moving shelves around here and looking at where they'll fit and where they'll go. You know, that's no matter what business you're in. I think that has to come in it. And if you think you're going to go online and that isn't going to be in it because you're on a computer, then think again. Because yesterday I was down in the garden for 2 hours with different outfits on, right, with fucking props like this, and selfie sticks, doing photo and video shoots, because I had to change my Facebook background picture. I had only slept a couple of hours, but it had to be done. And that is the shit that's needed. Is that practical thing done or not? No, why not? Let's do it now.
Deadly. I mean, I love that, because you're giving an insight into the actual work, the process that goes into creating some things. Because I think a lot of people get carried away looking at, like, you know, whoever they follow on Instagram and going, fuck me, look at that. And then they think, oh, it must be easy. I mean, it's fucking not easy. Sometimes these events, people who have success, even success like yourself, Sarah, you know, people could be looking at you going, where the fuck did she come out of? But now we're just hearing it. Well, it was 14 years, you know, and in the beginning you were doing 12-hour days, and you went through all sorts of shit and different iterations, and you've tweaked your business model and you've changed things. And as you've learned stuff, it's helped you. And finally now, you know, shit has clicked where you've really started to understand your true worth. Yeah. And you give yourself permission to communicate that. So I love hearing that in your story, because I think it's very valuable for people to hear this and then realize that if you fall in love with the process, you will get the outcome. Yes. Now, one of the things, I'm just going to go into some of the questions, because I'm going to question some of the things that you've said here. You said, well, we've done the one about your first gym feeling okay, right? So then you said, how reaching out and asking for help allowed me to overcome my fear of investing in mentoring with great success. What do you mean? What do you mean there? What are you talking about here? Yeah, I just didn't know, you know, and I think there's a lot of people even out there now that don't actually know what mentoring is. Like I wouldn't have been one to be at it on the internet, like looking people up. I didn't know who to look up. I didn't know literally existed. I became a little bit of a loner, I guess, in a way, because I got fucked over a few times with different experiences that I was like, it's just easier to kind of be by myself, keep the head down. A lot of them are full of shit, personal trainers, you know, I'll just go it alone. And if I hadn't known you, and if I hadn't known Jay, I wouldn't have joined Ascension, because I could see your growth. I met you at that kettlebell competition and you said, I'm on a mission. This is what I'm going to do. And I was like,
fucking hell, who is this guy? Like,
that was 2011.
That was 2000. Wow, 8 years ago.
And it was around about this time because the competition was in the summer. Remember?
Yes, it was the first kettlebell competition to be held in Ireland. Yeah, yeah. And you see, so I'm not going off on a tangent here, right? But it's relevant. Is like asking for help. Is I knew Sean and Jay were the people for me to go to ask for help. Why? Because of who they are and because of what they do. And I watched and I saw what they do. Jay, physically, fuck me.
Yes,
right? Just so inspiring. I'd often hear his voice in my head, right? And the same with you and with your sales and just how you say it, how it is. And it was like, you left an impact on me. So guys who are watching, you know, and you look at asking for help, is remember there could be someone needs your help. And when you meet someone in person, like be fucking unapologetically you, not like a blank bit of paper that you meet someone that could help you and you go, hi, and then you forget who they are when you walk away. You left an impact on me. I'm like, that is Sean McGarity and he means business, right? And so that stuck with me for years and watching you. And then when we made contact, I literally was like, Sean, I really need your help. Like I need help. And you were like, okay, we've got stuff coming up for you. Fill this form in. And you sent it to me. And I remember looking at it 1 a.m. being like, I don't think I'm even good enough to fill in the form. Well, let's leave it. And I was like, oh, I don't know, some bullshit. Yeah. And I sent it off to you. And you're like, sit tight, Sarah. Sit tight. We've got something for you. And then we did do you remember the live thing in the hotel in Dublin city centre? Was the first one. Yeah, that was it. It was just for a seminar for the day, like, and then it was into the mentoring for 12 weeks. Then we had a gap, and then we went in, and I just went all in. One of the most life-changing moves I've ever made, ever. Wow, like if I was in it now at this level I'm in of mindset, like the shifts would have been even bigger. But the shifts from asking for your help and getting your help were just life-changing. To go from, you know, charging that $5 an hour to first you got me to up my prices for kettlebells. Then I remember you saying, I remember this so clearly, would you ever consider dropping the kettlebell sports? And I was like, are you fucking for real? Why would I do that? And you're like, what money is it bringing you, Sarah? And I'm like, fuck off. Like it brings me so much joy and then it's like, no, that's gone. Got rid of it, gone. So from the help that you gave me, it just switched everything. It's just like, no, I'm a semi-private personal training studio, actually. This is what I charge, and you work with me for a year. So I signed up 3 women after that woman for a year because they told each other. And so asking for help, like, is again, it's if you do the inner work and you realize that it's not a criticism, it's not, you know, when you're getting feedback off people, like I was so defensive in Ascension, you know, especially at the start of like, they've told me my funnel is shit, fuck them. Or they've told me I need to change that logo, it doesn't represent me, fuck them. You know, it's like all as if everything's against you when you ask for help, but it's not, it's constructive criticism, and it's what, it helps you to collapse time. That's what mentoring does. It collapses time for you so you can just get on, you know. So if you're afraid to ask for help out there, just reach out. Like I messaged Karina Hill yesterday on Instagram and said, like, I'd love to get your help someday. I'm gathering up funds because she charges a lot. Yeah. And she reached back to me and messaged me back. So reach out for help. It's one of the most valuable things you could do in your career, in my opinion.
I remember something you said actually when we were talking to you in Ascension on your, it was a testimonial video you did, and you said you're literally fighting to stay the same by not asking for help.
Oh yeah.
And that's exactly what you described there. You know, when you're getting feedback, you're fighting with it. You're fighting with the feedback and you're taking it personally. And it's like, this isn't personal. This is fucking business. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I hear that again when you were saying that stuff there. Cool. Okay, next question. Why? Oh, sorry, mate. What was that?
Even the good feedback, even in Ascension, when you're like, you know, Sarah Smith, life coach. Remember, I was like, no, I don't have a life coaching thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Or even when Jay was like, but you're Sarah, it's you. Like, you can sell it. Like, I used to just be like, they're just saying that because I'm their mentee. Do you know what I mean? Whereas we need to be ready to receive. And then you gave us the book, The Go-Giver, and that changed things too. So it's also taking the bad feedback, but not squashing down the good feedback, the typical thing you do, oh, it's from pennies. It's like, no, thank you. Yes, I'm seeing my worth. Do you know what I mean? So just sorry to interrupt you there, but just on the feedback thing.
Cool. No, thanks for it, because that was a good point. Now, the next thing you said is you have to embrace the digital age if you have any chance of using fitness to create a lifestyle of freedom. while still helping people. What do you mean by that? Because you did say there's so much opportunity, but what do you mean by embrace the digital age? What's that about?
Yeah, so I don't mean that you just have to be doing Facebook Lives all the time or having a really shit hot website. What I mean is that you can cut shortcuts in your business by using technology, which you taught me, Sean. Like the most amazing thing you taught me about a year ago was the schedule once, meet me link, which I still use, you know, so because it goes to your Google Calendar, it goes to their Google Calendar. There's no dicking around. It's an appointment, right? So if you even took on one thing, whoever's watching this, personal trainers, gym owners, if you're like, oh, I'm not techie, if you even just set up that appointment system, or whether it's through Calendly or whatever you use, that will make a shift, just that one thing, because it shifted everything for me, where it's like, no, you've made an appointment, you've booked in here, it's going to go off a buzzer on your phone and mine, instead of this shit as well of, just Monday at 1 suit, no Tuesday, and then they go into the detail, well, I'm collecting my 2-year-old at this time. Whatever, Susan, like, what time do you want? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's using technology in that way. And then obviously there's the way deeper layers of your Instagram stories, your Facebook page, your website, your search engine optimization, all that. But there's the basic shit that could really help you instantly, like your booking systems and using Zoom or even Skype to communicate with your audience and give you shortcuts. But what I'm hearing a lot, this thing about no time and no money, but that's like complete bullshit, because you can be online at any time of the day. So anybody, like a homeless person, could make a business if they had internet. Yeah. No time, like, check your social media uptake, be fucking real with yourself, and you'll see that you totally do have time and you don't need any money to be digital. To start a YouTube channel talking about the Smurfs or dust could make you money if you were willing to get rid of your story that I'm not techie, or it's too hard, or all that. Like last week, me and Sean nearly lost our shit because we tried 4 times to get online. Sean more so than me. Obviously needs more meditation. Are you joking?
Yeah, I do.
But look, right now, like, it's serving us really well, and it's communicating a message to people, hopefully helping people. And so it's amazing. And what I'm saying is, it's not an enemy. And people saying, you know, yeah, Facebook, and it's just so annoying. It's a platform, like, it's how you use it, as in any of these platforms. So you can use it for your business in so many ways if you are just willing to put the fucking work in and stop the story that you're not techie, or, oh, it's lost my data, or like last week, there's just not a way. You'll find a way. Like, you'll find a way to make it work. Google it, go on Fiverr, go on YouTube, you know, like, you'll always find a way around technology.
Cracking. Absolutely love that. One of the things I'm just taking away from listening to you was like that schedule once. Yeah. How to change things for you, because I think the greatest thing it does is it protects your time, and it shows the client that your time is actually valuable. It's like, this is actually how you book in with me here, and it stops you dealing with cockwombles or just tire kickers. You know, it's like, no, actually, you can't just ring me up at any time of the day or speak to me at your will. This is my time, and this is how you can avail of that time in these couple of ways. I think that's beautiful, because a lot of people end up chasing clients who should never be taking your time away. They're tire kickers, you know. And when you have your marketing correct, which you have, 50% of the people you should be talking to, 50% you shouldn't be talking to. And the people who actually go and do make an appointment, well, they're already showing you that they should be, they're a valuable person to spend time with. The people, when you send them the link and go, this is how I work, go and schedule an appointment with me, and then we can talk. The people that don't, obviously, well, then you don't have to fucking waste your time. It's just a great way to weed out the tire kickers, isn't it?
It really is. And I've got a new approach now, because I suppose I'm a little bit more visible online, and you can kind of start to see what I'm at. I'm getting messages about meeting for coffees and stuff, you know, and especially if I come back to Ireland, Joe, it's like, I see your home. And you know, when I come back to Ireland, my main point is to see my family. And then it's, you know, to see other people that are valued, you know, I want to see. And so it's like, you know, we're not meeting for coffee. Like, what you're actually doing is picking my brains, but you don't see the value in that. So it's like, I'm actually really toying with the idea of sending, you know, like a PayPal link or a thing schedule once and going, yeah, you want to meet for coffee? Here it is. It's 120 an hour for a one-off, and here's my timetable, because I'm sick of it, to be honest. I'm sick of it. Yeah. Boundaries, if boundaries aren't set, like, I was the worst at this. It's such a low point for me. And you highlighted it in such a big way because you give a shit about your mentees, and you're like, Sarah, like, seriously, you spent an hour with that client or whatever, and nothing came of it. And it's one of the real big things that brought me down, to be honest. Like, is I'd do a day's work, I'd go to the gym, I'd do that, and then I'd have like 5 sales calls to call Mary. You know, they wouldn't answer, or I'd literally get on and they'd just be like, how much is it? How much is it, Sarah? And I'm just like, oh. But had I had the schedule once thing, you know, even if they're cancelling and they say to me, I'm sorry, can't make it, it's like, well, then you need to go back in and cancel that and reschedule it. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not doing it for you. So it is really, 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 really valuable.
Deadly. Now, the other point you made was this idea that you have to submerge yourself in personal development. Now, you've touched upon this because you said, like, you've got to do the inner work. But you said, like, submerge yourself in personal development and coaching if you want to bring your business to the next level. Tell me a wee bit more about that, sir.
Yeah. So basically, for the last 2 years, I guess, I've put aside a lot of the stuff on, you know, like another nutrition course, another fitness course, or what have you. And I've invested heavily to the point where I stopped, you know, drinking, going out, buying clothes, so that I could afford to invest in myself and my spiritual growth and my mindset and learning. So meditation, journaling. I mean, I have got like, I don't know, probably about 20 of these. Let's go to the right side of the screen, filled. Probably loads of my tears in there, actually, even, of journaling through that shit of like, oh my God, I'm about to, you know, tomorrow I've got a sales call with a client, and they're maybe signing up for a year online, because I've had, you know, a lot of women that have signed up for a year online, and I would do the inner work before I'd go on that sales call. I would do the meditation and I'd do the journaling about what I have to offer them and why I'm going to magnetize them to me and what value they're going to get from me and how it's going to feel when we work together. So I wasn't journaling about what we'll cover. I was journaling about the feeling of excitement, the feeling of congruency, through working with them. And that was through mindset work that I did. And a lot of my mindset work was around money, and limiting beliefs and blocks about money. So I've gone deep. And now I can bring that to clients, because, you know, we can't coach people on a level that we haven't been coached or that we haven't gone through. We just can't. So I had to deal with a lot of shit. It was pretty fucking grueling, to be honest, to get to this point. And it's like meditation, journaling, affirmations and visualizations. Now that probably sounds like unicorns and sprinkles to some people, but to be honest, it was harder than any kettlebell I ever lifted or powerlifting competition I ever fucking did. And the tiredness from it is more than any DOMs I've ever felt. Okay. So you're talking about, you know, writing letters of forgiveness to yourself, or letters of forgiveness to people that have fucked you over, and getting angry and then burning them or throwing them out to the ocean, you know, so that you can just let go and get in alignment, get everything in a flow state. Like, because again, I think it's like, let your message be your message, let your art be your art, let your soul be your soul. But if you don't know what your soul is, then you can't actually let your message be your message or your art be your art. So you need to fucking get to the soul shit first and invest in meditation. You know, what you say, what you think every day. I'm a money magnet. Money flows to me easily. And I go to Monaco, walk around the shops, I go to the coffee shops, I take out my laptop, I put on some, you know, good enough clothes, and money flows to me easily, And again, I'm not trying to be like The Secret, because, you know, hopefully by me from watching that I do the fucking work, is I will get a message, Sarah, I really, really want to work with you, you know, and this is when I've got into alignment, not when I'm like, fuck, I've got to get 10 people and I've got to get it by the end of the month. I've set targets. Oh my God, Mary, let me call Mary. Mary, are you there, Mary? Mary!
Fuck. But like, this is the thing, like, I haven't known you for ages, like, hearing you talk, I guess, is just a complete, it's like what we always knew. We saw this potential in you, and what you're talking about here is like you getting out of your own way, but the work in order to do that, which is what holds, it's fucking a very high percent. I don't know this statistic, but a very high percentage of trainers, they just don't see a future in which success is possible or even probable. And that's because they're in their own way, and you've got out of your own way and allowed yourself permission to communicate your authentic, true message and charge what you're worth. You've dropped your story and you're doing the fucking work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is coming, and this is not stopping, and this is growing and growing. Oh, wrong side of the screen. Growing and growing and growing. And you know what? It's growing through joy, through aliveness, and self-love. It is not growing through fucking funnels and strategies. Yes, obviously I have a strategy and a tactic, but you know, I'm not going to go in and go like, "Hi guys, Sarah here." If I'm like really tired and out of alignment, like I'll be real. I'll go on and go, "Fucking hell, I'm tired." Fucking hell, this is real life. And people are magnetized to me for that. And you know what got me to step over myself, Sean, was actual facts in black and white of clients. I couldn't hide from it anymore, because when you send an email out, right, and a message that says, "Why do you follow me and why do you consume my stuff?" And I handwrite it out, okay, and the message is, you know, because I cheer for all my clients, because I'm down to earth attitude, because I have enormous respect for you, because you've seen the transformation that I've made. This is all from clients. I'm never afraid to start over again, which is an amazing strength, because I'm real. Because I'll call clients out on their bullshit. Positive and no bullshit approach. They love the word bullshit. I continue to upskill. I'm bubbly and fun. My eye contact, my laughter. I can coach, I can lead, I can support. You know, these are all real words. There's even more there from clients that I had to get and do a swipe file on. And a swipe file in my phone that says, "Don't believe your thoughts." And when I start to freak out, which I was last night, even about like updating my website and the 5K package I have, I look at the swipe file and I say, well, clients are saying this about you, like, so shut up.
Yeah, brilliant. Because like that is one of the, I think the biggest, and it's a human fear, is like, what will people think?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's going to hold you back. So what you're doing there is fucking incredible. I'm going to take away from what you just said there, because like, you know, no matter what level you get to, there's always that breaking through here. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. So whatever got you to where you got you to isn't going to get you to where you want to go. And when you're trying to go to this other place, you're trying to expand. When you're going for expansion, there's always going to be a level of comfort you got to break through. So Sarah, in there, it's outrageous.
To anyone watching is don't mistake that discomfort with like a sign. Do you know the way all this stuff about intuition lately, you know, of like, you know, use your intuition, don't you know, you're feeling off and all, right? Is okay, there's a difference between getting an alignment and a flow, right? And also just being a dick and not doing it and saying, you know, like, I just don't feel an alignment and it feels off, okay? Is if I said to you, right, listen guys, I'm gonna check in on news again, let's just say in a week, and see who has gone up and done a live video, right, on their page, who's never done a live. Not for people who've done lives, for someone who's never done a live for 2 to 3 minutes saying about your business. Who has actually done that, right? And comment below if you want in and do it. And what I'd say is, you're going to get a stomach ache in the pit of your stomach. You're going to get a headache possibly and a head spin. You're going to start to, like, I'd get angry before them when I was nervous. I'd be like, fuck off everybody, and the laptop is... if I said to you, you're going to get a physical symptom, which is going to be a hiccup, hic, as you level up. And if you said, I'm okay with a hiccup, like if I know it's just a symptom of growth, I can deal with it, yeah? Think of the pain in your stomach and the freaking out that you're having in your thoughts as just a hiccup that isn't a sign to turn back, but a sign that you're just expanding and leveling up. Then you can get on. That's what I did. I kept going, no. It's not like when I did the TED Talk, I spoke at the TED Talk, which led me to be part of the Professional Women's Network in Nice as a mentor for them. I said, I'm getting on that microphone come fucking hell or by high water right now. My voice was like this. Look, I'm Sarah from Ireland. Okay. But I said, it's a hiccup. It's a hiccup. It's just a physical hiccup. It's a hiccup. It's a hiccup. This is all it is. I didn't say, no, don't do it. It's a sign not to do it. So if you go live next week, guys, or this week, and you get that horrible feeling of like, I can't do it, just think, Sarah reminded me, this is a feeling of a hiccup. It's going to pass, and it will pass. It really, really will pass. If you just know that your thoughts, you cannot just believe your thoughts when they say you can't do this. Choose a different thought, even if it's just one up from that, which could be, well, many others have done it. Many others have done it and they were successful. And they're about my age. They're a female as well or a male, and they're only starting out. So use that as a thought up from, fuck no, I can't do it. Just try to entertain this thought. Well, others have done it. Put it onto other people and take the focus from you. Others have done it and they're still alive. I'm still alive, guys. I haven't died. I'm still alive.
Fucking deadly. Love it, Sarah. So look, we're going to just jump into some questions here that guys are posting in. So I've got this one here. I can't see who this is from now. Give us a shout. Tell us your name when you hear this one. So what do you guys think about the rise in online coaching these days? I see a lot of YouTube, Insta fitness people selling programs these days where they do video calls and give you workouts to do. You reckon that's a scalable, sustainable business model, or what do you think? What do you reckon, Sarah?
Hell yeah, of course it is. Otherwise, loads of them wouldn't be, 6 figures and beyond, 7 figures. So to me, YouTube is, and actually, not to go on a tangent, but LinkedIn at the minute is probably where you get your cheapest ads, dollar for your buck or whatever they call it, right? It's not been utilized enough, but absolutely, YouTube is a search engine associated with Google. So if you look at your opposition's keywords, and you can do this on a Chrome tool, you look at the keywords and you start to use the keywords that will get your message across. You put them into YouTube and you link it to your blogs, then you're going to get people starting to find you through Google, etc. Okay, and then you're going to put packages together, for obviously Instagram, YouTube. It depends. There's a million platforms. What I'd say is get to know the platform that you like. So people consume content in many different ways, and we're comfortable as coaches in many different ways of teaching. Is it audio? Do you want a podcast? Is it video? Are you better on video, or are you better at writing? Right? And then see which one you're comfortable with. I've got multiple platforms. I am most comfortable on Facebook because I've been doing it so long. I'm now sticking to LinkedIn and YouTube, right? And so what's happening is these people are selling the packages, obviously, where you, through ClickFunnels, I've been down this route, you can drip feed them. Maybe it's a 6-week or 12-week course. This is module 1. Only when you've completed module 1 are you going to be opened up to unlock a module 2, module 3, module 4, YouTube videos and PDFs, or your audio, right? Of course it's scalable. Of course it's sustainable. And I don't mean to sound condescending when I say that, but it's you again. Like it's all you. Of course, look at all of them out there doing it that are successful. The ones that are majorly successful are ones that are fucking relentless, and they're spreading their message off multiple platforms, and they're totally being themselves, and they're getting results. So once you get results, and you can monetize it through offering multiple courses, low end €97 ones, $299, $599, $5K. Multiple platforms and packages.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Another thing, I think, I'm just looking at this question from a completely different perspective. It's like, stop focusing on the medium that people are using. I mean, business is business is business. Another question somebody asked up there is, does it work for any business? Business is only 3 fucking things. Marketing, get leads, right? Get name, email, phone number, or get in contact with somebody. Then sales, actually close them to cash. And then fulfillment, give them your service, your offering, or experience. And like the medium that you give them the product is not important as have you actually worked out how this business is going to flow? You know what I mean? Like, how do you actually get the product into the person's hands? So like, if you go back to like Dan Kennedy's triangle, he's like, who are you marketing? That's number one. Who the fuck are you trying to attract? Then the second thing is, what is your message? So who's the kind of people you're trying to talk to? What is the message? What are you actually going to communicate to those people? And then the last thing you go to is like, well, where do these people hang out?
Yes.
So the people that are using Instagram, why they're using Instagram is because their customers are on Instagram.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So like, people are focused too much on the medium. It's like Instagram, YouTube. There'll be 50 million social media platforms. It doesn't matter about the platform. And this is what you said way back. It's like, who the fuck are you trying to talk to and what's your message? Most people don't do that work first because they're so focused on, Instagram. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you don't know what the fuck to say, it doesn't matter where you're trying to say it. You're still going to talk shit.
Exactly. And it's through many different shapes and forms. Like I got a message on Instagram that led me to a 3K sale actually just down the road to a client that lives down the road here, right? And that was through my French teacher. who's on Instagram, who just forwarded a story I did about binge eating to a client who just saw it and then messaged me. And there you go. So it's like the mistake I made was trying to be perfect at each platform and get to know each one and then give my message across.
Yeah.
Now it's like, this is my message and these are the platforms that suit me.
Yes.
For me, it's going to be LinkedIn more. And it will still be Instagram and Facebook because I've got a good following there. But I will now start to shift into more YouTube and LinkedIn because that's where I know they live. So it's like, it's just the same as if you were to gym on a street. It's like, well, okay, where's my crew? Like, well, what's around me here that I can network? It's the same online. I joined groups. So they had another sale. I joined groups and joined one for living in the Côte d'Azur. I put a post up about Boss Lady, €1,000 sale within a week of a lady to work with me. And that was just for me networking because you told me to network before. You were on about it. And again, Sarah the loner, no, I know best, was like, no, I don't want to network. I don't want to show up as me. They're not going to like me. It's like nearly saying, just walk into the pub there and chat to people. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? So I joined these groups and then I got business that way. So it doesn't, I know what this question is about, more automated systems. And that's where I'm going, is this time next year, I'm going to have several different priced courses to download and use. But you can do it in many ways. Many ways.
But I think a mistake people are making is like, Instagram is a platform, so they're going like, oh, right, well, I'll just put these stories up, and then when people message me, I'll sell them shit. And it's like, what? Sorry, what are you going to sell?
No.
Oh, well, no. See, like, you can use the platform because you've actually created a business model. You know what your products are. You know what your core offering is. You know how people get in touch. You know, don't forget all the stuff Sarah said all the way up to this. She worked on it. She moved her business model from £5 kettlebell classes to actually finding the best way to work with the kind of clientele you want to work with to get them the kind of results that they want to get. So like Sarah has built a foundation, a business model that works, that's proven. And now she's just using Instagram to get more leads into that already functioning, predictable, repeatable, profitable system. So if you're lacking a predictable, repeatable, profitable business model, don't think that just by going on Instagram, you're going to solve all your problems. You're not. You're going to have like leads going into a really shaky sales system and a really shit fulfillment system, which isn't going to work, because if you deliver shit, you can only sell shit once. So I think all the stuff that Sarah's been talking about, the inner work, getting your business model, charging what you're worth, if you've got all that shit right, Instagram, YouTube are a fucking fantastic way to market yourself and get in front of lots more people. But it's nothing more than that. It's not gonna solve everything. There isn't a magical Facebook ad that's gonna make you £1 million. There isn't a magical, So I think you've got to do the work, First.
And when you've done the work is to do the metrics. So also if you're at it, like I said, I'm going to do 9 a.m., 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. I'm going to do that for 8 weeks straight, and I'm going to analyze the metrics from that. 2 of those are going to be my own original content, and one of them is going to be shared from another Facebook page, because Facebook loves you to share Facebook shit. Or I'm going to share like an infographic or something really funny. I'm also going to do polls and quizzes on my page to interact with the audience. I'm going to do ones with a background color on it. I'm going to do ones where you can put feeling this, or did you not know this about me? There's loads of things Facebook are laying out for it to be interactive. But what am I going to do after that is take note of the date that I started it, and then I'm going to look at the interactions of the times of day, and I'm going to look at the metrics of what they engaged in, what got the most shares, so that I can look at something going viral or the design of a t-shirt. So you're looking at what's the most shares, what's the most interactions, what's the ones they find funny, and then you base your content on that. Because yes, I've got an idea of content, but the fucking audience will tell me what content that they want. The same on Instagram. I'm going to my insights every single week, and I'm looking at where people stop looking at a story of mine, and I'm not going, oh, they don't like me, oh, that was boring. I'm like, okay, so they didn't like that bit there. They stopped on that part of my story. I lost them. I lost 5 viewers. There's something there that I went on too long. So when you're doing your content, you also, and the platforms, you also need to know how to analyze the metrics so that you can then base your next bits of content on it. And I've scrapped loads of shit that I thought was really cool. My audience didn't think was really cool. I'm at the level now that I can move on. But for other people, it's like, fuck them. I misunderstood. They're not getting my message. It's like, it's all you. Like, I'm so big noun, self-accountability and responsibility. It's a mirror of you. It's all you. Like, sort it out.
Excellent. Excellent. I love that you pulled it back into metrics, because a lot of people wouldn't even think about that, or like review or reflect on stuff and figure out what's working, what's not. I think that's the most important question you can ask yourself in business, is like looking at the metrics and saying what worked. And then sometimes it's not what you thought would have worked. Like you said, there's like, fuck, I thought that would have worked. Shit, it's not working. So what are you going to do? Well, stop fucking doing it and just do this shit over here that is working.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it freaked me out when I was putting up personal stuff about myself, or just a picture of me in a dress or something, right? And it's like, okay, they keep getting loads of interaction. What? You know, and then it's like, yes, it is. And you need to listen up. They want a part of you. They want a piece of you. They want to know, what do you eat? What do you do for exercise sessions? What do you meditate? What do you listen to in music? That's the shit that was getting interaction. And that's what I struggled with at first, was fuck me, you nosy bastards. And then it's like, no, they want a leader. They're looking for someone to lead them. So like, step up to the mark and start becoming and thinking and speaking and acting and doing like that person. Had I not looked at the analytics, I wouldn't have known that that's the shit that they want. And it wouldn't have led me to this 5K kind of package now that I'm offering.
Daily. Okay, that dude has said, thanks guys, you just gave me an idea for targeting a specific cohort of people that really need my fitness help. I like what you've said there, because good, now he's getting it. Yeah. He's getting it first. The most important thing is the audience. Figure out the market, figure out the message, and then it's easy to, when you've got a foundational business model that makes sense, I have to add, then it makes sense to just drive more traffic towards that, which is what, you know, Instagram, Facebook, all that shit's going to do.
Yeah, and then what's happening as well is just a quick one, I think, is that people start on stuff, right? And Jay and Sean highlighted this for me massively, which was an amazing gift in Ascension, and I still thank you for it, which was about continuity. And this is the thing, is even if it's, you know, just a quick post, or, you know, the pre-scheduling is what worked for me, because I could wake up and be, you know, not in great form, or some shit's going on with family or friends or whatever the fuck, right? We've all got real life ebb and flow comes in. Is like, you know I won't do the Facebook post today. Like, I'm at it with emails at the minute. I just need to get on it and schedule my emails. I've drifted off, right? Because I didn't pre-schedule them. So it's like the continuity thing is really important here. Is loads of you that are watching, or whoever's watching this, maybe out of 10 of you, one of you might take advice on doing 3 times a day posting, pre-scheduling, looking, because shit's going to get in the way in your life, and you'll just be like, oh, it didn't work. It's not that it didn't work. It's that you didn't give it enough time to measure and for analytics to build up. So that's where this book I love, which is the James Clear Atomic Habits, on how to really, really make sure that you show up. So we're getting this right to show up unapologetically as you, and they're going to get in like this shit right to make sure that you actually implement and show up.
That is my next book. Jay's reading that at the minute, and the stuff he's coming up, I'm just like, fuck, this is like
amazing. I bought the as well. Yeah, it's got a habit tracker journal. I bought that as well, which is like, you know, a handwritten one you could write out of the stuff that you'd like, you know, I want to learn French and doing that. And it's like at the end of each evening, I'm ticking, did I do it or not? Do you know what I mean? So it's really quite revealing as well. And that's what I'd recommend, is the physical, because I prefer, when I turn off the laptop, I don't want to go back on it at night sometimes. So that's why I use the pen and paper, and I use like the shit like this to get creative. Like this was me last night at 2 a.m. Do you know what I mean? All my this way. Yep. Ideas, which also came from that book about creating habits, because I've loads of habits I want rid of and loads more that I still want to create. Daily.
Well, mate, look, I think we're going to need to finish this up, because that's over an hour here, mate. But here's what I'm hearing, and add anything else to this if you like, and this is the notes that I've taken down. So for you, the first thing, the biggest piece of advice you would have to give sounds like to me that people need to do the inner work. Like if you don't remove the obstacles from yourself or whatever, or find out what that is and do that work, which can be excruciatingly painful because everybody wants to avoid it, you're never going to be able to get out of your own way.
Absolutely. And I think Tim Drummond even highlighted that, but his is more based on, you know, like behavior change for clients. But before you even go there, I'd work on your own kind of behavior change. Yeah, absolutely.
Deadly. Second thing I'm hearing for you is you've got to be able to protect your time. Your time is valuable, so you need to find out how to and learn how to protect that.
Yeah, totally.
And then sometimes to charge what you're worth, you're saying you need to find a mentor to help coach you to the position where you're really able to grasp your authentic message and start to communicate that shit and charge what you're worth.
Yeah, 100%. I really wouldn't have even known any of this stuff existed on any level if I'd stayed in my kettlebell cave, you know. But thanks to cave for years, safer there. But through you guys, and also like even Catherine and that in the group, you know, and Scott and Aaron and you know, everyone else, and they're in it like really, really, it's just moving and touching. You know, when they're supporting you and you're standing up there at that mastermind, absolutely shitting a brick and shaking. Do you remember I was really practically crying on all of my presentations? But for them to be like, that was really cool and wow, well done, you know, and like, you know, even Dan, the boot camp man, you know, when he's even liking my posts now, I'm going like, go for it, Sarah. You know, that's from the investing, you know, through the relationships that I've got through Ascension, even outside of it. It's just amazing. It just goes beyond anything I ever thought could form, both online and through the masterminds we did, you know, so totally invest.
Cool, mate. Then the other thing I heard was like, you've got to drop your story and do the work.
Yeah. You got to do it. And that's really fucking hard. Like I remember saying to Jay even a year and a half ago, and he's like, and what? So at the last mastermind, he was like, so what's your thing now? And I was like, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to be me. And he was like, about time, great. Didn't really do it. Told the safe story, told the vanilla story of me, yeah. Didn't really do it. And I kept telling my stories of why I couldn't do it. So like the minute you drop that, like honestly, it just, things will just shift for you, like beyond any funnel or website, like, you know.
Cracking. I think anybody listening has got fucking absolutely huge value off this, mate. So look, what's next for you? Where are you going next with things? You had the boss lady movement, right? And you changed it. So what's happening now? Tell us, what's the crack?
So now, literally overnight, actually, I've just created the Sarah Smith system, which is basically for people who are shit scared of being online and actually finding their voice online and through the techie stuff. So it's a mentoring 12-week program with me, but it's not just about your business. It's like it can flow into many different areas of your life, but basically it's me taking you step by step personally, to help you to grow and launch and create your message and then manage it yourself without getting fucking stuck in that whole imposter syndrome, you know, overwhelm, sabotage, procrastination, perfection. They're the mindset areas that I tackle first for a good 4 to 6 weeks. Then we shift in to the technical stuff of getting your branding, getting your stuff. And let me tell you guys, right, when I say photo shoot about last night, I mean me with my tripod, my iPad and my fucking iPhone, right? All that I created overnight, if you look at my page now, was literally just done on through apps. Like even my logos, Boss Lady logo, I just designed that on Pic Collage app because I don't have time for waiting on all that. It's just like when your business is shifting and changing, it needs to be organic as well. You know, you need to be able to do that shit. So where I'm going is basically a 5K package for 12 weeks, all in with me, to give you massive shifts and results in business and life.
I love the certainty you just said that with. I mean, I'm fucking thinking of investing myself. I'm sold. Where the fuck do I sign up?
Funnel. I'm the funnel.
Absolutely fucking deadly. Sir, mate, thanks a million for giving us your time here today.
Pleasure.
And it was great to finally get you on after that fuck up that was last week. Because like, it was great to have you over at the house as well. Because like, we decided when you visited and we were sitting having a beer at the back garden, it was like, let's fucking do it live. Let's do it. Yeah, let's fucking do this. Fuck me. So it's just been awesome. Oh, heads up, the bossladyclub.ie gives a browser warning, might put people up. What's that?
It's down. Yeah, I'm not putting it up because I don't want any of that old stuff there. So when I finish this call, I'm going to the beach for a minute to meditate.
I'll turn on the office.
To my web designer. So it's down. My website's down.
Good on you, right? So you've removed that so that you can create this shit. You're going to go create it at the beach. Is that what you're saying there?
Yes, I often do. I bring my like, this is my ideas book. It's worth millions.
Deadly shit in there.
And just write out some stuff like some inspirational downloads, and then get on with my day. and send all the copy over. You know, copy is where it's at, obviously, as well with sales, and that's what I'm really trying to zone in on at the minute. I've signed up for some courses online, so I'm trying to plan when I study them in the evenings. Do you know what I mean? To set alarms and shit on my phone. So that's what I'll be doing to get the website, like just creating a whole new thing, basically. So that's on the weekend. It's exciting.
Yeah, mate. Well, mate, thanks a million again, and good luck with the new project. I know it's going to be a fucking success.
Thank you, Sean. And just to anybody else watching, again, like there's loads of time. You don't need any money. You can make money within the industry. It's limitless.
100%, mate. Okay. We'll catch you soon. Have a great weekend, Sarah. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.